Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 74 of Brat Said That. I'm your host, Brad Jackson, along with my co-producer, Chad LGBT. We are welcoming everybody on our great Tuesday episode 77. Hope everybody had a great 4th of July. Hope everybody had a great weekend. And I hope everybody is ready for 74th episode. I'm so excited. I'm just love doing this show. I love the interactions I get. Oh, like I see you've been doing your show. How's your show going? Going great. Subscribe, comment, like, share, do all that fun stuff. The theme today is, well, you know what? Love is in the air just like fireworks, and we got to talk about it. Tay and Travis. Could I call him Travis Kelce, or is he Travis Swift now? But Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce got married. Broke all the headlines. They got married at MSG. We're going to talk about that in just a little bit. I don't know if I should talk about that as a football or miscellaneous, but we're going to talk about that in a little bit later in the show. But we need to talk about it because I'm not wearing the shirt because it's fashionable. Yes, CM Punk has made his return, and he is the new WWE Champion. But now you're thinking, Brat, what are you talking about? Sami Zayn just won that title 9 days ago. Wrong. Spoilers. CM Punk is back. Gunter took out Cody. It was supposed to be Cody versus Sami in the title match last night in Chicago. But Gunter took out Cody. And then all of a sudden, the best in the world came back in Chicago and won and ended Sami Zayn's 9-day reign. A lot of mixed reactions on the internet. A lot of people were upset spaghetti because they wanted Sami to have a long title. Well, not a long title reign, but like I said, something new. Sami Zayn, he's been working took us off to getting this championship. He finally gets it, and then he only holds it for 9 days. But why are we getting to that? Why do we have a new WWE champion? Well, we're talking about Raw last night. Gunter kicked off Raw with a brutal attack on Cody Rhodes. Like I said, Cody, Sami, main event. Gunter was ready to take out Cody, and that's exactly what he did. And then they were like, hey, well, Sami, you're still going to wrestle, but it's going to be a mystery opponent. I wonder what a mystery opponent in Chicago is. It was CM Punk. Anyway, still that. LA Knight, confronted Seth Rollins. Knight gets shot by Jimmy Uso. It's still the whole Jimmy Uso, the bloodline, the Seth Rollins. We got so much of that mixture in it. Now, I think we should put the title on LA Knight, but we need to see the LA Knight, Seth Rollins maybe versus the Usos at SummerSlam. Well, no, Seth Rollins is facing Roman Reigns. See, I'm confused too when I watch the show. So it's definitely going to be LA Knight versus Jimmy or Jay or something like that. One of the Usos. Bring out Rikishi. I don't know. But that feud is still boiling. And we have new World Tag Team Champions. Yes, the Street Profits won it a few weeks ago and now lost it once again. Back to the Vision. Braun Breaker and Austin Theory, but they had a little help from Maxine. Yes, all that backstage talk between Maxine and Austin came true. She is the newest member of the Vision. Helped Austin and Braun win the titles back, and then gave a big old smoochy smooch to Austin. We're just flip-flopping titles. 1 week, it's like, let's put on Street Profits. Next week, let's put it on the Vision. Next week, let's get on the Vision. Now, what they need to do, which makes the most sense, Vision, Alpha Academy, gotta do it. A little help from Logan, a little help from the newest member, Maxine, but Austin Theory and Braun Breaker are once again tag team champions. Saul Ruka defeated Raquel Rodriguez in a women's Intercontinental Championship match. Saul's reign with that title is kind of a little, not making many waves like she is. It's, that's a title that you can just experiment. That's an experimental title. Let's try to put this title on her to see if she's ready for the main title. I know usually the Intercontinental Championship is the workhorse title. That's the next step. Once you get the Intercontinental Championship, the next step is the Women's or the WWE Championship, World Heavyweight Championship. But for the women, I think let's try something. Let's just put it on the whoever, just to get it on somebody to get a little bit over, because that title is more of a title than a title. Joey Fresh 9 days. 9 days. Sami Zayn was WWE Champion, and now we have, once again, for I think the 4th time, CM Punk as WWE Champion. I actually got this shirt, I think with you and Terrell, best friend Terrell, when we went to the press conference. I could be wrong. It is one size too small. Anyway, Io Sky came out, and then, Liv and Roxanne, they're going to fight at SummerSlam. I didn't get to see Raw because I was doing that thing called work, but I heard there was a lot of talking and a little bit of action, Open Family came out, confronted Paul Heyman, Hell in a Cell against Brock Lesnar. That's going to be a hell of a match. I'm looking forward to that. The Ruler explains to Paul Heyman why he's ready to battle Brock Lesnar inside Hell in a Cell. Kind of dumb. Punk getting up there in title reigns if you count AEW. Well, AEW had, 2? And then he was World Heavyweight Championship 2. And then if you count the World Heavyweight Championship, he won back in 08-09. That's 2. So, Maxine is evil. We just talked about Maxine joining the Vision. We saw that coming. The Vision was clear. Maxine was going to join. No pun intended. But, Raw last night, it was just, a lot of changes. I did not think that Sam was going to lose to Cody. I didn't think Sam was going to lose to Gunter. I thought Sam was going to have a little decent title reign, but 9 days. That's all it took. That's all it was. And you know what, Joey Fresh? For Sami Zayn, only holding the WWE Championship for 9 days, after chasing it for over 20 years, from Ring of Honor to NXT to everything he's done, to only holding that belt for 9 days. Sami Zayn, I love you. You're one of the best. You're a legend. But you are the BRATWURST Award winner of this week because, come on, 2-week reign? You didn't even hold it for 2 weeks. 9 days. I know it's all booking decisions. It's not up to him, but backstage reports say that Sami Zayn isn't a money maker, which I don't understand why. His whole thing with the bloodline was great. His whole thing with coming up as, John Cena's surprise opponent when he first debuted was great. The whole thing with he made a feud with Johnny Knoxville go over. Okay? So this whole Sami Zayn's not a moneymaker, it's stupid. It's like Daniel Bryan, not a B+ player. Listen, 2026, y'all don't gotta be 6'5", 250 pounds to be champion anymore. It takes talent, it takes the connection with the fans, it takes just passion and heart and just being in there. So, don't get me wrong. As you can see, I'm wearing his shirt. I love CM Punk, but I don't think he should have just came back and won the title. Because is it going to lead to him versus Cody? I don't want to see that because, we just had this whole Gunter, Cody, and Sami thing. Why does CM Punk get to insert himself? I know it's a little different because it's the WWE Championship, and that's a whole different title than what he once held, but hey, he's a champion. We got to move on. Ethan Page and Rusev defeated Chad Gable and Dragon Lee. That whole feud's been going on. Get the title off Penta. Put it on All Ego. And then in the main event, CM Punk defeated Sami Zayn to win the undisputed WWE Championship. So what's next? What is next? Sami versus Punk, SummerSlam. Cody versus Punk, SummerSlam. All 4 of them at SummerSlam. But historical Raw last night. Historical Raw. And, 2 titles change. You don't see that very often happen on Monday Night Raw. But we do have to move on just like somebody is moving on for the first time. News is reporting that a future Hall of Famer legend, Sheamus, is leaving the WWE. That is heartbreaking. I love Sheamus. He was a lifer. He's been there since 2008, FCW. Then he debuted, won the title of John Cena in a rookie year. Then he defeated Daniel Bryan in 9 seconds. And then just everything Sheamus has. So let's do a little retrospective. This is the last time we see Sheamus in a WWE ring. Let's talk about his career in the WWE. Because he's been there for nearly 20 years. made his debut in ECW. Let's be honest. Making your debut back in those days in ECW, everybody did that. Kofi Kingston did it. Sheamus did it. A lot of others. Can't pinpoint off the top of my head, but Sheamus. Then he became King Sheamus. Won the Royal Rumble. Not the best Royal Rumble, but still won the Royal Rumble. Won undefeated Daniel Bryan in 18 seconds. Held it, faced the Big Show. Then he faced, the United States champion that he loved doing. The League of Nations wasn't the best. Wasn't the best League of Nations. I always liked the outsiders, foreigner, bad, evil factions. I've always loved that. And I mean, you had Alberto Del Rio, you had Rusev, you had Wade Barrett and Sheamus, all from different countries, which put them together, they were great, but I don't know. It didn't work out. And then he went on to film Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think he was Bebop, Rocksteady, had the stupid little things in his beard. Became WWE Champion by defeating Roman Reigns right after he won it, Survivor Series 2015. Held it for a few days, longer than Sami Zayn did. And then he kind of got his success with the Bar. Him and Cesaro ended the legendary reign of the New Day. Moved on to that. Did that for a long time. Singles competitor, really kind of was falling in his, 2020, he was kind of more of a placeholder. Like, we need something to do with Sheamus, go do it. Or, then the Brawling Brutes, Sheamus with Butch, a.k.a. Pete Dunne, and Ridge Holland. Then, his last feuds against Gunther, Drew McIntyre. He never held the WWE Intercontinental Championship. On July 5th, 2026, it was reported that Sheamus had supported WWE after he opted out not to extend his contract upon its expiration. His profile on WWE's official roster page was moved to the alumni section, ending his near 20-year reign with the company. He's won the WWE Championship 3 times, World Heavyweight Championship once, United States Championship 3 times, Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Championship total 5 times, King of the Ring in 2010, King Sheamus, Money in the Bank 2015, Royal Rumble 2012, and just one of those dudes, whatever he wants to do, whatever Sheamus wants to do, he's going to do great. Is he going to go to AEW? Who knows? That's usually what the word is on the streets after everybody leaves WWE. They're going to go to AEW. So, whatever Sheamus ends up doing, he will do great because he was that guy. Sheamus was awesome, he is almost 50, though. I didn't think he was that old, but, if Sheamus wants to just retire, good for Sheamus. He is a future Hall of Famer. He's a legend. He deserves everything that he has put his hard work into. But that's the thing. So Sheamus, I'll take I don't know what you'd like to drink. I think Sheamus is whiskey. I'll do a shot of Coke Zero whiskey for you. But over that, we do got a big thing coming back tonight. Dark Side of the Ring is coming back. Yes, season 7. And it is going to premiere 3 episodes of TNA. Jeff Jarrett has been doing interviews all over the place. CVV. Ariel Wani. I should have got him on this show. But, Jeff Jarrett and the Battle for TNA. There's 2 episodes tonight. Part 1 and Part 2. So we're going to watch that. We're going to talk about that Saturday show. But, yeah, that's going to be a great, great, great season. So, the first 3 episodes, Jeff Jarrett and the Battle for TNA. Necro Butcher versus Samoa Joe. Don't really know why that's a thing, but we got to wait and see. The Big Boss Man, that's going to be good. Big Boss Man was awesome. Ultimate Fantasy, The Fall of the Renegade. The Renegade, the WCW's answer to the Ultimate Warrior. Pretty much copy and pasted the whole entire gimmick. Paul Orndorff, Saving Mr. Wonderful. That's going to be about Paul Orndorff, obviously. The Walking Riot, Missy Hyatt. Oh, R's and W's. Bang that out. Again, about Missy Hyatt. And Zach Gallen, Against All Odds, Zach Gallen. So this season of the Dark Side of the Ring looks great. Looking forward to every single episode. We'll talk about it every episode. It is on Vice. If you don't know how to get on Vice, I don't know what to tell you, because I think you just go on the website and it's on there. Or it's on some TV. I don't know. Nowadays, things don't have channels, and they're just streaming services. So, but there was one thing we did find out about 30 years ago today. Bash at the Beach 1996. Who is the third man? Our final entry into the NWO Chronicles. Up until this point, we're going to do it every week. But main event, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and a mystery third man versus Sting, Lex Luger, and Randy Savage. So, if you don't know, the last 5 weeks we've been talking about it. It's all been leading up to today. Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, they're in the ring. They're facing off Randy Savage, Sting, and Lex Luger. They're all down, and out comes Hulk Hogan. Yes, Hulk Hogan comes out, and they're like, Hulk Hogan, yeah, he's here. He's going to help Team WCW. And then Bobby the Brain, in the biggest blunder of Bobby the Brain Heenan can do, he said, yeah, but what side is he on? And D-bag Tony Schiavone was like, what do you mean what side he's on? Of course he's on the WCW side. Then then Hulk Hogan comes in the ring, pushes the referee, and drops a leg on Randy Savage, turning heel for the very first time, becoming a bad guy, and really the very first time in the last 10 years. We've never seen Hulk Hogan as a bad guy. Drops the boot, drops the leg, officially making the match a no contest. A lot of people think the NWO won that match, but it was a no contest. And then the fans, wish fans would do this nowadays, but they can't do it nowadays because we're living in a soft generation, threw everything in the ring. Poor Mean Gene was just standing there interviewing Hulk Hogan and saying, Hulk Hogan, how could you turn your back on WCW? And Hulk Hogan pretty much said, listen, we have a new message. This is the new world order. And, what you gonna do when the NWO one's riled on you? Well, the first thing you gotta realize, brother, is this right here is the future of wrestling. You can call this the new world order of wrestling, brother. These two men here came from the great big organization up north. And everybody was wondering who the third man was. Well, who knows more about that organization than me, brother? And then goes on, talks about Billionaire Ted, talks about Eric Bischoff. As far as I'm concerned, all this crap in this ring represents the fans out there. For 2 years, brother, for 2 years I've held my head high. I did everything for the charities. I did everything for the kids. And the reception I got out when I came out here, you fans can stick it. Because if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan, you people wouldn't be here, and that is the truest damn fact I can say. So that way, now, brother, Hulk Hogan and the New World Organization of Wrestling, he did call it the New World Organization. Brother, me and the new blood by my side, what you gonna do when the New World Organization runs wild on you? So, that is it. Hulk Hogan with the promo of the year. Well, actually, now, let's put this on a debate, okay? I want to poll. 1996, what was the bigger promo? Was it Hulk Hogan joining the NWO? Or was it Austin 3:16 after winning the King of the Ring? That's what I want to know. But I think, as a wrestling fan, I wasn't watching at that time. I'm sure it was. I don't remember. But what a heck of a few weeks. But that is it for up until Hulk Hogan. We talked about Scott Hall. We talked about Kevin Nash. We talked about the power bomb to Eric Bischoff. We talked about the possibilities of who the third man can be. And now we found out week 5 that it was Hulk Hogan. So week 6, next week, we will talk about more. And pretty much everything the NWO did up until Starrcade. I think that 6 months is a true good 6 months. All right? So we found out who the third man is. We found out that All Out, yes, we're going to AEW News, returning to Chicago. He won't be there, but AEW officially announced All Out 2026 will once again take place in the Chicago area. The announcement, Chicago's themed graphic, immediately sparked fan speculations because of the obvious nod towards CM Punk, even though he's now back atop WWE. Don't get your hopes up. CM Punk's not going to be there, but could the New Day be there? Possibly. Could a Sheamus be there? Possibly. Could a Bayley be there? Who knows? But, oh, sorry, Bubba. But All Out is coming back to Chicago. AEW loves Chicago. Chicago loves AEW. So, don't really know where the next topic to talk about. We have some good news and we have some sad news. We'll talk about good news. Ex-WWE star Mandy Rose shows off a baby bump and a pregnancy announcement, so congrats to her. And I think she's with Tino Sabatelli. So those genes are going to make one good-looking child, I'll be honest. But in some sad news, Charlotte Flair's tribute to superfan Scarlett Guillen, who battled diffuse midline glioma since 2024, passed away July 4th, leaving behind a profound impact on WWE star Charlotte. Their friendship included Charlotte designing Flair's entrance gear for Survivor Series, attending WrestleMania 42, and starring in the WWE documentary. A lot of people donated to their GoFundMe, raised over $63,000 with generous donations from Charlotte and wrestlers like Bayley, Alexa Bliss, the wrestling community, LA Knight, all shared memories of Scarlett. So rest in peace, Scarlett. That's very sad. Reminds me of Connor, the young kid Connor who passed away back in the day with Daniel Bryan. But yeah, so that's the wrestling news. We got a new WWE champion. We got new World Tag Team champions. We do have Saturday night's main event coming next week, but we'll talk about that next week. But there is one thing we need to talk about that we talked about a little bit, and now we finally talked about it. We've talked about it the last 5 years. Conor McGregor is officially coming back. It is Conor McGregor Return Fight Week, and I think everybody is excited. This card looks phenomenal. Listen, Alex, okay, you can say you suck, Jackson, but you know who doesn't suck? The new WWE champion, CM Punk. And just like Irish, this Irishman, Conor McGregor, is in the main event once again. Yes, Conor McGregor's coming back welterweight against Max Holloway. Now, it's not a pure shot win that Conor is going to come off 5-year layoff. Not talking about 1, 2, 3, 4. 5-year layoff. That's a long time. Max Holloway, his last fight wasn't that great against Charles Oliveira, but he has been phenomenal. His fight against Gaethje, his fight against Korean Zombie, and just everything he's done, his Volkanovski trilogy. So, while Conor has been out there making news, making headlines for all the wrong reasons, that is, he's done a lot of outside things, dealt with a lot of legal drama, dealt with a lot of stuff like that, it's true. So I think a lot of people hoping Max Holloway can finally shut this Conor McGregor headache once and for all. 5 years doing something or not doing something is impactful. You can't just sit out 5 years. You're 38 now. You've done a lot of dumb shit, And Max Holloway is a fighter. Not saying Conor McGregor's not, but I don't want to say Holloway's going to win this fight because then McGregor's going to win. But I will be watching. We're going to have a watch-along, McGregor versus Holloway. Main event looks great, though. Benoit Saint Denis versus Paddy Pimblett. Lightweight bout. This is Paddy's first fight after losing to Gaethje. I think Paddy is a big 155er. So his fight against Benoit Saint Denis, Benoit hits hard. So you're putting him over, but judge me for putting Benoit over. Make it make sense. Now here's the thing, okay? I don't want to get into it because, we could talk about that other side. Chris Benoit murdered his wife and child. That is proof. That is history. That is in the books, okay? A lot of people are praising Benoit because he had a nice snap German suplex. A lot of people think Chris Benoit didn't do it because he had some feud with Kevin Sullivan 20 years ago that people think, that left over real life. It's not true. Now, I don't put anybody over. If Conor McGregor did the things he did, which, you know what, he should be in jail. Chris Benoit, you did try to call me. I'm not, listen, I'm not, you call me, Listen, maybe one day I'll get you on the show. We can talk, but I want to get through UFC 329. So, Corey Sandhagen versus Mario Batista. Those two bantamweights, they were looking to get the next title shot. Brandon Royval versus Laurent Kavanaugh. Same thing in the flyweight division. And King Bobby Green versus Terrence McKinney. That's going to be a battle. That's not going to last 3 rounds. That's going to be a quick fight. You know? Robert Whittaker, R's and W's, Jesus Christ, versus Nikita Krylov. This is Whittaker's first fight at light heavyweight, so that's going to be a new step for Whittaker. That division is so shallow that 2 or 3 wins for Whittaker can have him fighting for the light heavyweight championship. Gabe Stevenson, he's making his UFC debut against Elijah Ellison. Let's be honest, this is a fight fed to Gable to get his debut underway. Cody Garbrandt, who has been battling back and forth, is just, he needs to do something. You know, he does coming off a win, but he's lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of his last 11. So that's not that great. By the way, where's your Knicks championship hat? Here's the thing. When the Knicks championship hat becomes $10 at Lids, I'll buy it. I got the Super Bowl 11 hat. Raider Nation. You know, like I said, I've always said this. I've said this on the show many times. I'm not a Knicks fan, but I'm a New Yorker. So I was very happy to see the Knicks win. Knicks did great against the Spurs, rooting for them. So, you know, I don't have a Knicks hat. Knicks, you know, obviously they're the NBA champions, but, you know, I am 3,000 miles away from Madison Square Garden. You know, it's easy to get Raider stuff here than Knicks stuff. But other than that, you got the early prelim card, you got the preliminary card, and then you got the main event, Conor versus Holloway. It looks great. It's going to be fantastic. We're going to move on, though. MLB. Actually, let's give our predictions. Let's give our predictions because I'm coming on Saturday. I think Terrence McKinney, Lono Kavanaugh, I cannot pronounce the name, Loner Kavanaugh, Corey Sandhagen, Patty, and I gotta go with Conor. Even though that Max is probably gonna win. But that might change by Saturday. We're gonna see. That is not official Brat Said That predictions. That is just me trying to make sure. I'll post it on the Instagram, don't worry. But MLB is coming to the midseason, and we got the grades for all 30 MLB teams. This is on ESPN. So, with an A+, this is not even me making this up, the Chicago White Sox lead off an A+. Milwaukee Brewers A+, Dodgers A, Rays A, Braves A-, Marlins A-, Cardinals B+, Nationals B, Cubs B, Guardians B, Pirates B, Phillies B-, the New York Yankees C+, Minnesota Twins C+, Seattle Mariners C, Rangers C, the Astros C, Diamondbacks C, Padres C-, the future Las Vegas Athletics C-, the Rockies C-, and to the bad grades, looks like my report card back in the day, the Reds D+, the Red Sox D+, Tigers D, Orioles D, the Blue Jays, the defending AL champions D, the Royals D-, Angels D-, and teams that got an F, teams see me after class. The San Francisco Giants get a big fat F, and the New York Mets, the worst team, got an F. Let's just have the New York Post do our work here with a few back pages headline. Amazing disgrace. Do something. Calling for Steve Cohen to act or lose some Mets fans forever. 8 of flubs after the Mets gave out Gary Carter's old uniform number. Breaking Bad. Whoa, your boat. After the Mets made 6 errors in a game, which won them the BRATWURST Award. So, yeah. Not good for the Mets, but hey, this has the Chicago White Sox as A+. Hey, fuck off the Mets, beat the Yankees. Listen, they couldn't beat the Yankees in the Subway Series. If you're talking about 2000, well, the Yankees... listen, bro, I don't know what grade you were in 2000, but I was in the 6th grade. And that divided not even households, It divided classrooms. It divided the whole entire state of New York down the middle. You know, you were either Mets or you were Yankees. And, yeah, Yankees won that battle. But let's look at the standings. The Rays are on top of the AL East, 3 games in front of the Yankees. Pretty much that division is either the Rays or the Yankees because the Blue Jays are 11.5 games behind first place. The Chicago White Sox, 6 in 2000. Yeah, it was 12. Get over it. The Chicago White Sox in first place in the AL Central. Guardians 1 game behind. Twins are 4 games behind. So, Guardians right by our ankles. Mariners and Rangers and the Astros all AL West. That every year since Astros become bad is a flip-flop up in the air. The Athletics, though, still in it. 5.5 games behind. Braves and Philly, 50-game winners. They're looking good. The Mets, 15 games out of first place. 15 games in last place. The Brewers looking good. I picked them to win the World Series last year. They did not. They were in the NL Central race. 7 games in first place. And then the Dodgers, obviously, the Diamondbacks at 14 games behind the Dodgers. Dodgers first 60-game winners. So, yeah. Dodgers seem to might have to do a three-peat. Don't want to see it, but it might happen. And I'm not old. The draft, though, we had the NFL draft. That's out of the way. Mendoza, first pick, he's going to the Raiders. NBA draft, out of the way. AJ, he's on the Wizards. Gavin McKenna, NHL, he's going to the Blue Leafs. Maple Leafs. And now we just got one more. July 11th, the MLB Day 1, rounds 1, 2, 4. The draft order, the White Sox, we talked about it. The White Sox in the first pick. Rays and Twins, Giants, Pirates, Royals, Orioles, Athletics, Braves, and Rockies. We all know that Rock Kalinsky. Now, we thought Rock Kalinsky was the number 1 pick for sure at a UCLA shortstop. But Grady Emerson is now projected to go number 1 to the White Sox, Fort Worth Christian High School in Texas. So, that changes a little bit of what we think. Now, Rock Kalinsky. Hell of a name. But, we got to see. It's up in the air, you know. Eric Booth Jr., don't think he's related to John Wilkes. He looks to go to 6th. Drew Burress, outfielder. Gio Rocha, Justin LeBron, Tyler Bell, Jackson Flora, Jacob Lombard. So that is the top 10. Von Lackey, too. We didn't talk about him. So, yeah, it looks like we might see somebody different. So we're going to have to wait and see and talk about that on Saturday's show. But, let's see. Should we talk about it? Should we talk about the wedding? Yes, let's talk about some NFL news. The Travis Kelce got married to some pop singer. Don't know what her name is. I'm joking. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are now married. Yes, they got married in MSG, and it's kind of like, why are you going to marry in MSG? We just had a whole thing about Trump and closing down MSG. Now we're going to go over here and close down MSG. Listen, both those guys, or no, not guys, both those individuals have more money than I can ever count up to, okay? So, you know, I mean, you're allowed to get married wherever you want. You know, true love is true love, but damn, get married to some, like, faraway island or something. But Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, Swift and Kelce got married in a star-studded ceremony at Madison Square Garden on July 3rd. I know Adam Sandler was the ordained minister. Jason Kelce was the best man, of course. It was just, you know, pretty much the wedding guest list ran from Brad Pitt, Emma Stone, Mariska Hargitay, and Tom Hanks, NFL stars Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, and Patrick Mahomes. If, you know, Gronkowski, ultimate wedding guest. Sabrina Carpenter, Miranda Lambert, and members of Swift's band and Eras Tour. Just so many people. On the wedding day, guests began making their glamorous arrivals at 3:30. Hugh Grant was there. So, yeah, it's very secretive, a little hush-hush, you know. Couple MSG workers got a little bit in trouble for snapping pictures, but I'm sure selling them to the tabloids got them some money. So I don't know if it's worth the risk. I read somewhere that Travis had to sign like a 40-page prenup, which it's alright. Like that makes his own money, and yeah, so good for them. That's why this theme is Travis Kelce. I like to do themes where it's like, okay, what movie came out this year? Last week we did Willy Wonka. This week we're doing Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. 7-Eleven, we're going to have a whole history of 7-Eleven, your favorite convenience store. And I'm going to get a Slurpee. So it's going to be very, very fitting. A little bit of update. We did talk about Marshawn Nealon. He passed away November 5th at the age of 24 by suicide. It was revealed that he suffered from CTE, stage 1 chronic traumatic CTE. So they announced that. So, unfortunately, CTE is real, and CTE is something that a lot of people are taking seriously and need to look at. And I'm glad that, not glad, nobody should be glad about, CTE is getting, I'm not a doctor. It's a fat guy with a podcast. But CTE is getting more coverage, and hopefully there will be a cure to that and make safer plays and football safer. And, nobody deserves to die at 24. But let's talk about NBA. Let's move on. LeBron's last days are with the Lakers. We know he's not returning to Los Angeles. We know every team's looking for him. Now, I keep reading on the internet and everybody's, LeBron needs to retire, or LeBron's not the GOAT. If what LeBron James has done in 23 years of playing the game of basketball, the records he set, the championship rings, I don't want to hear that he lost this many in the finals. Listen, without saying 6-0, tell me how Jordan is better. I don't want to hear, they played at a different time. That's not LeBron's fault. I heard, who is it that, I don't want to say this wrong, but I know there was a former player who was like, LeBron plays with softies, And somebody pointed out, dude, LeBron played against you. I don't know if that was Paul Pierce or whoever, but it was just funny to see that. But once LeBron signs with the team, maybe Golden State, that's the rumors. We will see what that happens. But Kyle Lowry retires after signing a one-day contract with the Raptors. He pretty much played his career with the Raptors. Decided to retire. Good for him. DeMar DeRozan. Some news. Waived by the Kings. He's going to hit free agency. Good pickup for anybody. The Cleveland Cavaliers locked up Donovan Mitchell with a 4-year, $273 million max extension. The deal includes player option for 2030-31 and a full-time kicker. I don't know what that means. It keeps Cleveland championship window open while LeBron James rumors continue to swirl. But big news out of Boston. Jaylen Brown got traded to the 76ers. Yes, a big part of the Boston winning a few years ago against my Mavericks. Jaylen Brown is going to 76ers. Celtics receive Paul George, a 2028 first-round pick, 2031 unprotected first-round pick, and multiple second-round picks. One of the most shocking moves of the offseason, breaking up Boston's championship core. So, big win. I think the 76ers will win that, obviously, because Jaylen Brown is a great player. Not saying Paul George isn't, but right now in 2026, 2027, I would want Jaylen Brown on my team. Mitchell Robinson is on the move, though. After winning the championship with the Knicks, he has agreed to a 3-year, $47.4 million deal with the Boston Celtics after helping the Knicks win the 2026 NBA Championship. The contract reportedly includes a player option in the 3rd year. Now, I want to do a fun segment, okay? This is from Bleacher Report. We know the rivalries. We know Boston versus New York. We know Dallas versus 49ers. We know the Penguins versus, the Capitals and, Yankees and Red Sox, and what players? This is called the 25 biggest rivalry traders in sports history. Because Mitchell Robinson, not saying he's a trader, went from the Knicks to the Celtics. Who are the athletes you have the biggest love-hate relations with? Who are the athletes considered the biggest Benedict Arnolds of sports world? They're traders. The athletes who have played for both sides of the competition and made significant impact on the game. You love them when they played for side A of the competition, but they flipped and started playing for side B as they became the person you love to hate the most. These aren't just athletes who happen to play for both teams. These are the athletes who will be remembered throughout their careers for switching sides in these rivalries. So, here is a list of 25 of the biggest rivalry traders of all time. This is from Bleacher Report. Number 25, Karl Malone. He spent nearly his entire playing career with the Utah Jazz before jumping ship to play with the Lakers in the last season in the NBA. Well, just another reason why you should not like Karl Malone. 24, not my best friend Terrell, but Terrell Owens, a man better known as T.O., became a major trader when he left the Eagles to play for one of the biggest rivals, the Cowboys. 23, Shaq. While many may not see it at first glance of the towering retired basketball player, he is a factor trader. He played for both sides as one of the biggest basketball rivalries of all time, the Celtics and the Lakers. We all know he was on the Lakers, and then at the end of his year, he played for the Celtics. Adam Vinatieri broke a lot of hearts, broke my heart back in the day. The New England Patriots seem to have several rivalries in the NFL, one of which is with the Indianapolis Colts. After playing for the Patriots from 96 to 05 and winning not one, not two, not three, but 4 Super Bowls, Adam Vinatieri became a trader when he signed with the Colts in 2006. Jeff Kent, like in all professional sports leagues, the MLB is well known for the rivalries, one of them being the Dodgers and the Giants. Jeff Kent became a trader to the Giants, who he played from 97 to 2002. In 2005, when he signed with Los Angeles and became a Dodger. 20, Jan Uribe. He played for the Dodgers and Giants rivalry too. Bill Sharman, getting a coaching job anywhere in the NBA has to be a dream come true. But does it still feel that way when you're coaching a rival team? Bill Sharman was a Celtic for the last 10 years of his playing career. When he became a coach and became the Lakers coach starting in 1971. Eric Mangini played for the Patriots, then went to the Jets. Curtis Martin, Patriots and Jets. Dusty Baker, Cincinnati Reds, but played for the Dodgers, joined the Giants, and then the Athletics. So that's a 3-time trader. Doc Gooden, crosstown, played for the Yankees in 96 after spending 10 years playing with the Mets. Earl Heischer, Dodgers, Giants once again. Began his career with the Dodgers, Giants, ended his career, Nick Saban, this guy was a true trader to all LSU. Go Tigers. He coached the LSU football team from 2000 to 2004 before moving on to the coach of the Miami Dolphins. When rumors started that Saban was leaving Miami to coach LSU's rival Alabama, he denied the betrayal, but next season, coaching career with the Crimson Tide. Charles Haley played for only 2 teams, the Cowboys and the 49ers. Drew Bledsoe, he was a Patriot, but then he had to go to the Bills. Then some kid named Tom took over. Roger Clemens, possibly the biggest rivalry in baseball. Red Sox and Yankees. We all know he was part of the Red Sox, and then he became the part of the Yankees. Wade Boggs, one of my favorite third basemen of all time, spent 10 years of his career, 82 to 92, playing for the Red Sox before leaving them to join the enemy in 1993. Marion Hossa, Penguins and Detroit Red Wings have one of the most intense rivalries in NHL. So it was a shock when Hossa, after having led the Penguins to the finals in 2007 against the Red Wings, decided to sign with the Detroit team instead of accepting a new contract with the Penguins. So, hold on. You led the Penguins in 2007 against the Red Wings. The Red Wings beat us. And then you didn't sign with the Penguins. They signed with the Red Wings, and we beat the Red Wings. So, good for them. Brett Favre. Brett Favre lets now Green Bay Packers to the Minnesota Vikings. Rod Woodson. He played for the Steelers and the Ravens and the 49ers and the Raiders. Played for a lot of teams, but You got to pick a team. Johnny Damon, I remember this one. We all know Johnny Damon was a huge Red Sox. Then he came over to New York and played after 2005. Had to cut his hair and shave his beard. Jerry Rice, one of my favorite football players of all time. Played for the San Francisco 49ers and then played for the Oakland Raiders. Ken Norton Jr. might be a traitor, but it was the Cowboys' fault for letting him go. Excuse me. In 1994, after winning 2 Super Bowls with Dallas, Norton became a free agent. Instead of trying to re-sign him and several other talented players, Dallas cheaped out and began to look for talents to replace him. So he went to the San Francisco 49ers, and Norton won his 3rd straight Super Bowl. Bill Belichick and Bill Parcells. Okay, this one is a 2-for-1 tradership. While these two were still working together, they left the Patriots to coach the Jets. Since Parcells couldn't contractually be the head coach, the Jets hired Belichick as the head coach and Parcells as the assistant. And number 1, the biggest trader in all of sports, Deion Primetime Sanders. He makes the top of the list by playing in the 3-way rivalry. He not only played for both sides on the Cowboys and the 49ers, but both sides of the Cowboys and the Redskins. So I thought that'd be a fun little segment to do. But you gotta do what you gotta do for your career. So, speaking of what you gotta do for your career, Alex Ovechkin, we all thought he was gonna call it a career, but in 3 words, he says, "I'm back, babies." Yes, I'm back, babes. Ovechkin is going to continue his career. The league's all-time lead goal scorer. 929 in 1,500 games plus. Will return for a 22nd season. The captain of the Washington Capitals, who returns 41 in September, will not hang up his gold-laced skates quite yet. So, I'm a Penguins fan. Ovechkin, he's always like the other guy, the guy that beat, Golden Knights in the finals. Stanley Cup. But let's talk about FIFA because I got to get off soon. FIFA World Cup round of 16 is going down, and what an insane round it's been so far. We had, unfortunately, we do have to say goodbye to Team USA. Yes, the host city team lost yesterday to Belgium. 4-1, didn't look so great. Not a fun round, but round of 16, Morocco defeated Canada 3-0. France defeated Paraguay 1-0. Norway defeated Brazil 2-1. England defeated Mexico in a shocking 3-2. Portugal lost to Spain 1-0. Belgium 4-1 against the United States. Argentina though. Excuse me. Messi came back to take Argentina 3-2 over Egypt. And right now, it looks like Switzerland might have beat Colombia. I'm not too sure how that works. But the next round, though, we got some good ones. France versus Morocco. Spain versus Belgium. Norway, England. Argentina versus Switzerland. Switzerland won. Breaking news. On penalty kicks. So, I'm still going with France. Shout out to LGBT. He still wants to see it. But, Argentina looks good. England looks good. Norway, though. Norway's got that one player everybody's starting to love. What's his name? The Holland guy. Erling Haaland. A lot of girls are obsessed with that guy. So, we will see. We are down in just a few weeks left. July 19th, in East Rutherford is going to be the final, the FIFA final. But unfortunately, the United States will not be there. But before we go to the miscellaneous, we have talked about this last 2 weeks. House of the Dragon episode 3 has happened, and man, Renea, she is having a tough time as queen. Wow. She's looking for Aemon. She's looking for some revenge. But the town folks are looking for some help. Guys, they're looking for the queen. They want the queen to do something. She's like, oh, we're out of bread. We're out of wool. We're out of dragons. All the dragons are dying. And Renee's like, man, well, you know what? This is a prophecy that my dad told me about, but, geez, this is tough. Can Rhaenyra Targaryen actually rule? The High Towers appear to surrender. That Ormond Hightower, he's like the cousin of Alicent and the nephew of Otto. He's like, okay, I accept. Here, take Prince Daeron. But it's not Prince Daeron. You find out it's an imposter. So he lied to the queen, And then Rhaenyra's discovering all this stuff. The treasury is empty. The food shortages. The city's people are starving. Several noble houses are crushing her decision. So, she needs to go out there and take a smoke break because it is hard. A lot of trouble. The biggest twist at the end. The fake Daeron. It wasn't Daeron. The final act reveals that the captured Prince Daeron isn't Daeron at all. Ormond Hightower deceived everybody by surrendering a decoy, ending by the close of the episode. Rhaenyra's authority is under pressure. Team Black is becoming divided. The Greens have regained momentum through deception, and the war enters a dangerous new phase with Tumbleton becoming the next major flashpoint. So, craziness. I know Rhaenyra had like a feast for all like the high society members of the King's Landing, and she fed them rats because the rat catchers are all dead. So there's rats everywhere. So it's been insane. So looking forward to episode 4. There's only 8 episodes this season, but it's looking good. It is looking good, and can Rhaenyra control King's Landing? We will find out. But before I get off, I do want to talk about this. Hope everyone had a great 4th of July. But last Friday, me and Babe went down to the water park, Cowabunga Bay. Wow, I have not been to a water park in years, and I loved every second of it. The lazy river we went on about 10 times, just enjoy ourselves. We went on the wave pool, just a great day. Just a great day. Me and Babe, thanks to the sister for the tickets. But wow, what a phenomenal day. One of those days where it's don't worry about the dogs, don't worry about work, don't worry about bills, don't worry about rent. Let's float away. Let's just float away. And it was great. I look forward to going back again. If you know me, I am a water aerobic, anything aquatic person. If you get me in a big enough bathtub, I'll be happy. I'll stay there forever. But Cowabunga Bay, 10 out of 10. Absolutely amazing. I just can't wait to go back. But other than that, I think the show's over. We will be back on Saturday for not only episode 75, but we're going to come back to do a live watch-along. Conor McGregor's return against Max Holloway. So, let's get the music going. Let's talk about it. And, so, let's do a little recap. We have a new WWE champion, and his name is CM Punk. Yes, Sheamus might have really left WWE. Wherever he ends up, Sheamus, you are a bona fide Hall of Famer. Thank you for everything you did. We're going to watch Dark Side of the Ring tonight. It debuts. Make sure you check that out. Vice.com, Vice, I don't know, something like that. We found out that the third man 30 years ago was Hulk Hogan. AEW All Out is returned to Chicago. Rest in peace to Scarlett Guillen. And Mandy Rose is pregnant, so good for her. UFC 329 is this Saturday. We're going to come back, talk about it. We gave all the grades for the midseason. White Sox, A+. The Mets, you stinkerooskies. And the draft is Saturday, so we'll see what the White Sox get for first place, or the first pick. Travis and Taylor are officially married, so congrats to the Swifts. Can you really call them Kelces? And we learned more about the passing of Marshawn Nealon. LeBron's last days with the Lakers are behind us, and Jaylen Brown is going to 76ers. And we talked about traders. That was a good segment. Ovechkin is back. He says, I'm back, babes. And the round of 16 is almost over. We are going to the semifinals. France, Morocco, Spain, Belgium, Norway, England, Argentina, Switzerland. And House of the Dragon, episode 4. Cannot wait. This Sunday. and Cowabunga Bay. There's one in Henderson. There's one in Summerlin. Got to check the Summerlin one out. But other than that, the show, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and a whole lot of Brat. So, like I always say, love yourself. Love each other. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on YouTube. And love yourselves. I gotta go. The dogs are ready for a nice night, relaxing night. So, alright guys, I'll see you Saturday for episode 75 of Brat Said That. Alright, bye.